Pressley with RSH Legal. Perhaps you've been hurt by someone else's fault recently, and you probably even have thought about the injuries, the ones that you could actually see, like bruises and broken bones. But one thing that many people don't consider is that they may have suffered a traumatic brain injury during their accident as well. Whether you were injured at work, hurt by a doctor or other healthcare professional, or hit by a negligent driver, traumatic brain injuries can happen in a variety of different ways. Below are 7 easily missed symptoms of a brain injury. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, contact your doctor. Symptom 1, headaches. Headaches are the most common symptom reported after a brain injury. The cause of these headaches can be easily mistaken, such as neck strains, whiplash, or other such things commonly experienced in a car crash. But it's important to speak with your doctor before you take any medications for your headaches, as they may mask the symptoms and keep the person from actually realizing the seriousness of their injury. Symptom 2, confusion or disorientation. It's common to dismiss confusion or disorientation as being caused by the shock of an accident. However, if these symptoms continue for hours or days, maybe even weeks after an accident, it could be the sign of a brain injury. Even mild brain injuries, what we call concussions, can cause confusion and disorientation. This altered state may last up to 30 minutes after the initial accident. And even though it's called a mild traumatic brain injury, the lasting symptoms can be devastating. That is why we always recommend seeing a doctor as soon as possible following the injury, no matter how minor. Symptom 3, memory loss. Some kind of amnesia is common following an accident. You may not remember what happened before or after the accident, or even the actual accident itself. Memory loss occurs between 30 and 50% of the time when a brain injury occurs. If there were witnesses to the accident, ask them what happened. This could help you to later diagnose a brain injury. Depending on the severity of the brain injury, memory loss may also continue well beyond the accident. You may struggle with learning new things or remembering new information long after the injury first occurred. If this happens to you, talk with an experienced Iowa brain injury lawyer. They can help you get a fair settlement for your continuing symptoms. Symptom 4, impaired thinking and judgment. Reaction times, judgment, decision making, and concentration can all be affected after a brain injury. You may find that it's suddenly difficult to make decisions that were easy to make before your accident, or you may have trouble focusing. If you feel your thinking or your judgment has been impaired due to your injuries, speak with a doctor. Symptom 5, emotional reactions. This is another symptom that is often dismissed as accident-related stress. However, these mood swings may last a long time after the initial shock of the accident has worn off. Some of the more common emotional reactions include irritability and depression. These two in particular are common because you may have difficulty completing your daily tasks or activities after an accident, and that can be frustrating or disheartening, especially if you're used to being independent. Symptom number 6, sensitivity to light or sound. Someone who has experienced a traumatic brain injury may need time to rest and recover in a dark and quiet area. Lights and sounds may trigger symptoms, which is why TV and cell phone usage should be limited while you're recovering. During the recovery period, light and sound should be slowly reintroduced to test your limits. Recovery times will vary from person to person, and in severe cases, sensitivity may never fully disappear. Symptom number 7, tinnitus. Tinnitus, or ringing in the ears, can cause disruption in a personal life. It can occur temporarily after an accident, or it may last for months or longer. It can manifest as a buzzing, clicking, ringing, or hissing sound. Tinnitus can lead to headaches, fatigue, lack of concentration, and even depression. If you have more questions about brain injury symptoms, download our free law guide to traumatic brain injuries. RSH Legal, fighting for fairness.